Chris and his dad talk about sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the return of everybody's favorite show. Your favorite show's favorite show. Chris and his dad's show. We are back in the New York groove.
From cancellation.
Well, listen.
They're giving us one more try.
Put it this way, we've been renewed for season 2.
Apparently, I was considered too old and too slow for the first few shows, so I had to train a little bit, work a little bit, get a little schooling, and Chris was nice enough to give me a second shot here on the show.
Well, what actually happened was our schedules really conflicted, and then eventually after 3 weeks, it almost became everybody saying the show's canceled, and I just went along with the joke. And eventually a few months passed by, and I said, hey, we should do the show again. And here we are.
So we're going to try to do it every Friday night. And we're going to review or preview the games, whether it's baseball, hockey, football, college football, NFL. And today we're going to, what's the agenda for today? Football, right?
Today's a lot of football from both college football. We're going to be talking about Heisman candidates, Heisman potential winners. And then we're going to, of course, give our predictions for the NFL. We have a lot of stuff going on from Joe.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah, but before we jump into it, we have to say, if you look on Instagram at the.sportscore on the recent post, you see a giveaway for this bad boy, the SportsCore official tee, if you don't mind me, these wires right here, the official tee, Chris Daly, designed by this man right here, Chris Daly's the SportsCore, www.thesportscoreblog.com, or on Instagram at the.sportscore. You better go check it out. This man just tosses that thing. He just tosses that thing, and without further ado, let's get right into the show. So, you're a big Giants guy. You're a big Giants fan. You've been following this team for the past couple of years, and their starts since about 2017 have not been so hot. 1-5. The best start they've had in years is 2-6.
Yeah,
or 2-4.
It was a great year. Very exciting.
Winning year. So, who do you think's to blame right now at the New York Giants? Joe Judge just came out and said he's the one that people should be blaming. But do you think it's Dave Gettleman? Do you think it's him or everybody?
I think it starts from the top. You can't do anything about the ownership, but I definitely do think Gettleman needs to go. I think he sucks. He has done a horrible job. They've used a lot of their draft picks to get guys who are, star receivers or star running back. Guys in positions that are flashy, they're sexy picks, so to speak. But what they needed to do was build an offensive line, and that's something Gettleman never did since he's been here. And they never have had a offensive line to protect Daniel Jones or to create running lanes for Saquon Barkley, or to help, even have enough time to pass to some of these wide receivers they brought in. Odell Beckham, all the way up to this new guy, what's his name? Tony, right?
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. And Eric Flowers, and if you don't mind me cutting off here, the two offensive linemen, because you speak of the offensive line, they haven't built an offensive line. The two offensive linemen they've drafted in the top 10 in recent memory is Eric Flowers, who was an absolute bust. He got released after a couple of years. And Andrew Thomas, who there were 4 main offensive linemen in his class 2 years ago. Tristan Wirfs, he's a Super Bowl champion, one of the best O-linemen in the NFL. And there was a few others that they could have drafted too.
Zach Martin.
Literally 4 of 4. He's the worst out of the the 4.
Yeah, and they brought in some high paid free agents. Nate Soldier from
the New England Patriots.
And that has not worked out. He hasn't done anything.
He's had a couple injuries, and he just hasn't played up to the way he was playing in New England. And maybe Bill Belichick's a great coach, and you raise your game when you're in New England. But at the same time, you're supposed to be the guy. You're supposed to come in and make an immediate impact. And the last thing he's done is made an impact. He's just sat and watched.
So the Giants need to change the general manager. And quite honestly, when a general manager comes in, they usually pick a new coach. I have no feelings on Joe Judge. He hasn't done anything to make me get behind him. I don't know that he's a horrible coach, but I just don't think he's the right fit, really. I think they need to get all new guys in there once again and rebuild once again, but please rebuild the offensive and defensive line before you start going getting these sexy players who play, running back or, first of all, don't draft a first-round running back. Never. It's a stupid pick. And but they need to build the foundation of the Giants. They need to restart and build it. So that's how I feel, man.
Yeah, personally, I feel the same way. And we're going to go down a level now in college football. The NCAA Division I, Kenny Pickett. He's a local guy for us. And he has been lighting it up this season. He's top 5 in the nation in QBR touchdowns, and he's only thrown 1 interception to add on to it. He plays at University of Pittsburgh. I watched him last season, and I was like, this kid's pretty good. I feel like he has some potential. I thought he was a senior, actually, so I wasn't really sure what to think. I'm like, he might be an older guy. And then he comes back this year, and all of a sudden he's a Heisman candidate. Do I think he's up to the level of Matty Corral? From Ole Miss?
And that's the thing. I'm a Matty Corral guy. He's an Ole Miss. Tim Tebow just recently put his support behind him. He's the thing about Matty Corral though. If he's not throwing the ball, he's got to run. He's on a team where he's carrying a lot of the workload. And can he do that week after week after week? And they do have Auburn on their schedule a little bit down the line. And they got some tough games. And can he hold up? Can he still produce? He's got great numbers. He's definitely a Heisman candidate. So it'll be interesting to see. You always like seeing the Heisman Trophy. That's a big thing for you.
I've always loved college football a lot.
Well, you love all sports, but college football, forget it. And you actually interviewed the Heisman Trophy winner last year. Remember?
Yeah, I did actually. That's Devontae Smith at the Rose Bowl Media Day. Go check it out on YouTube. But the thing with Matt Corral, too, is that 52-51 game against Arkansas, the game of the year. The one thing I love about Matt Corral is last year against Arkansas, you know what he did? He threw 6 interceptions. Worst game of his career. They lost against Arkansas solely because of his play.
Right. Settle down, Chris. Settle down.
Solely because of his play. He comes back this season and does great. But Kenny Pickett, he's the man of the hour.
All right, so you like Kenny Pickett?
I think Pittsburgh. And it may sound like an upset because Pittsburgh over Clemson, but I don't think it's much of an upset. They're a top 25 team. Clemson's unranked. Pittsburgh beats Clemson. That's my pick of the week for college football. Go bet on it. If you make any money, give me 50%, please. I really need it. And yeah, that's what I got to say.
Who the hell's going to give you 50%?
You never know.
You're a nut.
I got a question for you. A question.
Go ahead.
If you watch me on Instagram, you know how I feel about this.
Unfortunately, I watch you on Instagram. I watch you everywhere. So I see you in the house.
Georgia Bulldogs, are they an all-time great college football team?
Are they an all-time great college football team? This is exactly what you need to work on, okay? You're a very good broadcaster for your age and everything, but you always get a little too excited. Can we wait till they put together a whole season and finish? Okay, are you telling me they're going to win the national championship?
Yeah, I think they will, and they are literally the most dominant defensive team I've ever seen in college football.
Are they going to beat Alabama?
Yeah, they are. Mississippi State beat Alabama. Anybody could beat Alabama.
Whoa, back up, Chris.
I'm joking. You know what I mean.
All right.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but until somebody beats Alabama...
Mississippi State just did.
And I will say that Georgia looks really, really good, but you got to put it together from A to Z. They got to finish it. They got to bring it home. If they bring it home, then you can have some talks about where they rank among great teams. Even though I think Alabama's had some of the most dominant teams I've ever seen. So I know you're a big Georgia guy this year. You're thinking that they're going to win it all. I mean, obviously they're favored. I mean, they're destroying everybody. I just
want to backtrack. It was Texas A&M, not Mississippi State, but they've allowed 6.6 points per game so far.
What are we talking about?
Georgia. Georgia has allowed 6.6 points per game. If you look at the defensive statistic categories, they're 1 or 2, tied with the 2010 Alabama team, widely considered the greatest defensive team to ever play. They're first in yards allowed, and first means that you've had the least amount of yards allowed per game with 209.1 yards, and it's not even close. That's the thing. If you look at the stats, it's not like 209 and 210. They're blowing every team out of the water. There's never been a team like this. It's just a bunch of 5-stars playing around.
They haven't played anybody.
Baloney. That's absolute blogna.
Yeah? Okay.
Well, absolute blogna.
When do they play Alabama? Is that on the schedule? That's what I want to say.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So, you know what?
I don't think they're going to play Alabama because I don't think Alabama's going to make the playoffs like Georgia.
What?
Alabama's 5th right now.
You don't think Alabama's going to make the playoffs?
There's a strong chance they don't.
I don't think so.
Only thing is,
I think
Iowa.
they'll get into
I
the-
do have
I
to say
think they'll
though, Iowa losing did help them. Iowa losing to Purdue.
Alabama will find its way into the playoffs. But I do think Georgia's the favorite. Let's let them win, Chris, before you anoint them the greatest team to ever walk the planet Earth. Calm down.
All right.
Your enthusiasm is very contagious, though.
Anyways,
What was that, music? All right. No comment on that music.
bam! Patrick Mahomes. Well, let's just say he hasn't been playing so well this season, has he? Couple interceptions here, there, everywhere, and he's going like this. He's going like this and throwing to the other team. I've never seen him do that before. I thought this man was perfect. I thought he was the perfect football player, and imperfections have been showing, and it just shows nobody's perfect, not even Patrick Mahomes. And
Well, it takes more than just Patrick Mahomes, okay? Yeah, he's throwing some interceptions, but they've had some problems on the offensive line. And, I mean, they always, that guy scrambles and buys more
you're
time.
Right. You're definitely right on that.
But he's had some problems with the offensive line if you watch those games. And it doesn't help to have his brother dancing on the sideline. That's very distracting to everybody. But I digress. But I think Patrick Mahomes is just, he's a little bit, he's showing that he's human. You can't expect this guy to carry the team every single year.
And I think the question always with Patrick Mahomes was, it's when. When is he going to mess up? When is he not going to show that he is the perfect football player? And he's finally showing it, signs and hints. But it's also imperfections in the Chiefs as a whole, like you said.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill had a few bad catches where it's bobbled, but they have a big game against the Titans. The Chiefs haven't been doing so well this season. They have a losing record, which you never thought. They're actually they have a tie record now, 3-3, but they were 2-3 going into last week.
Yep.
So, what do you think, Chiefs versus Titans? I am personally going with the upset. I think the Chiefs are going to pull it out.
Is it that big of an upset? I don't know, but Chiefs
I'd say
versus
so.
Titans is a pretty interesting game. I mean, I just love the way the Titans play. They came out with a interesting win last week.
Yeah.
It was a close one.
I thought the Bills should have just kicked the field goal personally.
Yeah. So, this Chiefs Titans, it's real tough for me. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, though. I think the Chiefs are so hungry for a win, and I think they're going to get it. So, I'm picking the Chiefs over the Titans.
Yeah, another one that's interesting is the Washington Packers game. So Washington, a team coming into the season, NFC East favorites. It wasn't even the Cowboys. It was the Washington football team. This defense is dominant. Chase Young, best defense in the league. And now they're 2-4. They're really in an iffy spot, and they're facing the red-hot Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers has been playing out of his mind yet again. So I personally think, I had a gut feeling that the football team's going to win, but I'm just going to say the Packers are going to
Okay,
win.
I have no doubt about this.
The Packers are gonna
I
win.
think the Packers are going to win, and I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what I said to my gut? I said, "Hey, gut. Hey, little buddy down there, you're wrong. The Packers are going to win. You think A-Rod's going to lose to the Washington football team? Nah,
Okay.
no chance."
You're a nut.
Bengals Ravens, another amazing game because Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals have finally found a winning formula. I haven't seen this in years. The only winning formula they ever had was Andy Dalton, that one fluke of a season that they had years ago. So this is amazing. I love watching Joe Burrow. He's a winner. He's got that Mamba
Yeah, I
mentality.
love Burrow, man. I'll tell you what, he's really impressed me. I did not think he was going to be as good as he's been in the NFL. I mean, he had that horrible knee injury. What was that, last year? But, the guy has just played. I mean, he's been a real solid NFL quarterback, and he's made the Bengals a team that you can't overlook. However, I think the Ravens are on a tear, and I love their quarterback.
Lamar Jackson.
I mean, the guy's phenomenal. So he's having like a career year. So I got to go with the Ravens in that game.
Yeah, likewise. I'm going to go with...
You're just copying me.
Well, I'm just saying that because...
Nah, you're just copying me.
Okay. All I'm saying is the LA Chargers are a fantastic football team led by a fantastic head coach with a fantastic quarterback, and they beat them 34-6. You can't make this type of stuff up. 34-6.
They beat who?
They beat the LA Chargers last week. The Ravens did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a great football team beats another great football team. Now they're playing the Bengals. I really think that Joe Burrow's been on voice rest. So maybe he's going to be a little quiet in the huddle. They're not going to hear the plays. And
Yeah, but did you see that thing about they used to have a thing they can put a device in there so you can like a microphone and speakers. You can actually put them in the pads so when he speaks into his helmet,
can hear.
yeah, his lineman can
knew
hear
about
him.
that.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
If you look up, actually, listen to this. I saw it on TV. It was Steve DeBerg. He was a quarterback that was in the league for years and years. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Steve DeBerg. And he actually, they hooked him up because he had laryngitis, and he had a microphone and speakers put into his shoulder pads.
Right.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's interesting.
Little history there for you, Christopher.
Little fun fact. Well, you want to know another little fun fact? Steve Spurrier from the University of Florida is the only Heisman winner to coach another player to the Heisman Trophy. He coached Danny Werfel.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for the Florida Gators.
That's a random fact.
Little random fun fact just throwing at you. You only get this content on D.Sports Court with Chris and his dad. So make sure to drop a follow while you are watching. Make sure to go to YouTube and subscribe. Go to Twitter, ChrisDaily13, to see my random thoughts on the daily. Anyways, Panthers, Giants. Interesting game because Sam Darnold and the Panthers got off to a blazing start. I loved their head coach, Matt Rule. He led that Baylor team from really just a defeated season all the way to the top and the hierarchy of college football. And then he got a $70 million deal. He said sayonara to those Baylor Bears, and he went to the Carolinas. Can't blame the guy.
Well, the Giants are so banged up right now. I mean, at this point, who are they going to put in there? I mean, I think Gettleman might actually have to put pads on himself and play. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. They have more injuries than any other team in the NFC East, or in football, I think, for that matter. And I think the Panthers will roll over the Giants, or maybe they'll keep it close. The Giants like to flirt with like, hey, it's a game, and then around the third or fourth quarter they just kind of the wheels come off the bus. So I'm going to go with the Panthers over the Giants. You?
No, I'm going with the Giants. I feel like the Giants.
Look at you.
The Giants have something to prove right now.
Wow.
And I really do believe.
Giants have something to prove right now.
Yeah, they got these players. They got something to prove. These players don't want to go. These players don't want to start the season 1-7, 1-6.
I know. Well, you got more faith in them than I do, but I'm going to go with the Panthers. Hey, I hope we keep track of this because next week we're going to review who had the better picks, Chris or me.
All right. Falcons, Dolphins.
And we change the name of this.
Falcons, Dolphins. This is actually
To Bill and his son.
Gosh. Falcons, Dolphins, everybody.
There's a real uninteresting game, if you ask me. I say the Dolphins are going to win that game.
I'm going to say the
The
Falcons.
Falcons are. You think the Falcons are going to beat the Dolphins?
Yeah, the Dolphins aren't really good right now.
Really? Yeah.
And the Falcons aren't either, but
I know.
I think Kyle Pitts, he's coming off a fantastic game. I think Kyle Pitts, if he keeps playing the way he is, he's a game changer. That's the only way to describe him. He's a game changer, and Kyle Pitts going to pull it out.
I don't know.
Jets, Patriots. I'm going Patriots. Mac Jones beats Zach Wilson.
Patriots over Jets. Always.
Eagles, Raiders.
Ooh,
Another-
that's a cool game.
Really even
I like
game.
to look at that one.
Really even game.
Yeah, tough one to pick. I love the Eagles quarterback and
Jalen Hurts, but you also got to love Derek Carr. He's been playing really good this season. He has
Yeah.
Dallin Waller and Henry Ruggs as his wideouts. I mean, that too.
But the whole John Gruden effect when's that going to show? It's I mean they got a coaching change. I mean the coach was just pulled from underneath. Just that was so crazy how that all transpired.
Mm-hmm.
I know they still managed to win without him, but can they do it again, or is it going to start to rear its ugly head? I mean, Gruden's a great coach,
So, what do you got to say?
I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win that game. How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
I don't like them apples because I think Derek Carr. The thing with Henry Ruggs is he's so explosive when you go downfield. So move Carr out of the pocket, get him moving, get him slinging that ball because that's what he does best. Sling that ball. You know what? I was never really a Derek Carr guy. I gotta admit it. But then I started watching him talk, watching him lead, and all of a sudden I became a big fan of the guy this past year. Became a big fan. This is the guy I literally used to hate on. I used to not like the Raiders because they had Derek Carr on their team.
All right, settle down.
All right.
And remember, when you watch that game, please don't email anybody.
Lions, Rams, Jared Goff facing his old team, Matt Stafford facing his old team. I mean, how is this even a question?
This is a great game.
How is this even a question? The Detroit, I'm joking. The LA Rams are going to win.
Well, I don't know. This Detroit coach, I swear, I mean, this guy's going to be put in a
love that guy.
psychiatric ward if he's taking these losses pretty hard.
I got to say, I gotta say, my boys gave everything out there.
All right.
I love Dan Campbell though, and he's literally, you know what? That man, I want that man to win, but I just don't want him to win versus the LA Rams because I'm picking the Rams in this
I
game.
find him to be a little stupid, but you know what? I'm going to go with the Rams over that. I think the Rams are going to beat the Detroit Lions. I know Dan Campbell, you know, people like him because he kind of just speaks his mind, says it like it is. And however, he hasn't won too many games yet, has he?
Nah.
They've lost some close ones.
Hasn't won too many games yet. He hasn't won a game yet.
I know, you're right. You're right.
The Bears versus the Bucks. Justin
Bucks.
Fields. Yeah, likewise. And Justin Fields, interesting situation going on there. I really think.
I'll tell you what, this Buccaneer quarterback, Tom Brady,
I think he's got some
the
potential.
more I see him play, the more I'm starting to really like this guy.
He's got some potential in the big leagues. I don't know though. I think he's still too much of a rookie for me.
Yeah.
Cardinals versus Texans. I mean, how is this even a question? Arizona.
Which one?
The Houston game. Houston versus Arizona.
Okay, so you got Cardinals, Texans. And
The undefeated Arizona Cardinals. The blazing hot Kyler Murray with Devontae Hopkins. This whole defense. What? Oh, DeAndre Hopkins. My bad. Jeez.
Get the name right. Holy smokes.
We got hecklers.
No, we got help. We got help.
well-
We got an audience. We got a studio audience here. It's going to be Chris, his dad, and his annoying brother. All right.
I gotta admit though, I was researching Devontae Adams today. I'm not making excuses. I just want to put that out there and let everybody know
Chris.
my thought process.
Chris, come on. You made a mistake.
Arizona Cardinals
Own
win
it.
the game.
All right, we got 49ers versus Colts. Who's going to win that game?
My boy Mike McGlinchey, TSC interview himself. 49ers, book it.
Matt, what do you think over there? Studio audience.
Niners versus
Colts.
Colts. It's a good game. 2-3 versus 2-4.
I like the Niners in this game, although the Colts are playing really well too. So I'm going to go with the Niners.
Niners are.
Chris, who you going? Come on, put it on tape.
I literally just said the 49ers. They're a team that kept it within 7 against Arizona. I'm a big fan of Mike McGlinchey and that offensive line. So,
All right, let's wrap it up with one more. Saints versus Seahawks.
Well, the thing is, the Seahawks are without their star man, Russell Wilson. They have Geno Smith. So, with that being said, I will be going with I'm going with the New Orleans Saints.
Geno Smith was a New York Jets legend. I'm going to say he's going to bring back that legendary play.
The sucker punch.
And they are only going to lose by 10 points.
Oh my gosh.
How do you like that?
I like them apples. And also, I do want to wrap up by saying something about soccer real quick.
Oh, God. You know what? You can't get through a broadcast without soccer with this kid. He's unbelievable. I want to say something before you go to that, though. All right. Check out Chris's interview with the head coach of Norwich ice hockey team. They're a Division III team, right?
Yep.
And Chris did a great interview with him. You can see that on the sportscourtblog.com. So make sure you check that out because he put a lot of time and effort into that. And that was a really cool interview. Even if you don't know who this coach is, you will know by the time the 15 minutes is up and Chris has got done, bothering the guy.
And personally, the biggest thing I learned and took away from that interview, because that's what I love.
Why don't you say who it is?
It was with Cam Ellsworth. He actually won many things. He went to 5 out of 7 Division I tournaments as an assistant over at UMass.
He also coached. He was a goalie coach.
Yeah, who coached now Vesna Trophy finalist.
Yes, so he's coached guys who've gone to the NHL and have been very successful, and he's a real interesting guy. And if you're just interested in people who who've been very successful at coaching, and maybe you don't know their name, they're not a household name, but they have a story to tell. Check out this interview on the sportscourt.com. Sports Court
on YouTube, the sportscourtblog.com.
Check it out.
And my biggest takeaway from this was the differences between Division I and Division III aren't as big as you think. So there's a lot of there's a big stigmatism around Division III.
Not stigmatism, stigma.
Stigma.
That's an eye problem, I think.
They call me
stigmatism.
They call me Dr. Seuss. I be making up new words left and right.
I love it. You're getting there now. I'll tell you what, though, it's a great interview, and I think people will check it out. So now, what do you want to talk about soccer? Go ahead.
My Champions League final prediction
will
be PSG versus Manchester United. It will be Lionel Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo in the final.
Is that a dream or is that going to happen?
It's gonna happen.
When will we know?
Ronaldo comes up in big moments, and he knows he doesn't have many. I think people say he doesn't have many years left in his team. He's got the body of a 22-year-old. I think he can play until he's 70 if he wants to. Man's an absolute rocket. And then you got Leo Messi, the magical Messi. And then you put him with Kylian Mbappe and Neymar and all these talents at PSG. Forget about it. Forget about it. And you have a world-class coach on the sidelines. Forget about it. PSG versus Manchester United. And listen, the winner of this game will be the greatest of all time. The winner of this game, Messi versus Ronaldo in the final.
How are the clubs doing right now? Both those clubs.
Manchester United, they've been shaky, and they have a really tough stretch of games coming. They just faced Atalanta, where Ronaldo clutched up in the 81st minute to bag a winner. So this man's always coming up in the big moments too. Can we just talk about this?
Ronaldo's a great player.
But they have a lot of tough games coming up. They're doing okay on the season.
Well, let me ask you this:
PSG's
who's having a
been
better
doing
season, Ronaldo or Messi right now?
Ronaldo.
He is,
and he's doing it in a tougher league.
Well, then, yeah, and Messi's playing.
He's playing in France.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. And you think the two of them are going to actually meet in a championship game?
Yeah, and the only possible game that I could ever picture in my head that would be bigger than that game, that would have more hype and a build-up to that game, would be if they met in a World Cup final. And the chances of that happening are pretty slim. They're pretty slim. And I just want to leave that there.
All right, so that's cool. So we'll have to look for that on the soccer front. Any other parting shots? We want our listeners to subscribe. How do they do that?
Stay calm and keep subscribing on. Hit that button, smash that button, share that button. Do whatever you have to do. Go run around your block, knock on every door and say subscribe to the Sports Court now, because I need it. I need it. This man doesn't feed me food. I need to get some AdSense money in, and I need to start buying my own food.
Yeah, I need to get you some medicines, but I need to get you. Oh my God. All right. You done? I'm gonna start calling you Mad Dog. You remind me of Mad Dog.
I hope people liked the return of the show, because I personally liked it. I personally had a good time.
All right, good. Well, let's see if we can get 2 weeks in a row.
I'm sorry, I have to say though, your performance today.
Yeah, save it for after.
All right.
I've been watching Matt over on the side there, kind of give me some looks, and but it's been fun, and it's nice to do this again with you, Chris. So we'll see if we can get through the season. I think what I'd like to do is next week go over our picks and see how we did, see which one of us did better. All right. All right. Now get to bed. Would you do your homework and get to bed?
Do my homework. It's a weekend. Come on. I ain't doing that.